Hi, it's me Jacqueline. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to the channel, then please subscribe my channel and visit my Patreon page, link in the description.
When she came back, she placed a wig cap over Sam's head and tucked all his hair under it. She then carefully placed the first wig on his head and brushed it out. She turned Sam around so that Toshi could see and said, with a little styling, that would look good on him. Now, let's try this one. She removed the first wig and put on the second. Both Toshi and Sam said no to that one. She then tried a third and a fourth. Sam said, that first one was really nice. You're right, Toshi said. Can we try that one again? No problem, Karen said as she put the first one back on and brushed it out. She then pulled out a book of hairstyles, found one, and showed it to the twins, saying, "This is what I had in mind." Toshi smiled and said, "I love it." Sam said, "Nice. I can style it for you if you like. Or you can take it to any beauty parlor. It's a human hair wig. And I charge $25 for the styling on top of the cost of the wig." "Aren't those expensive?" Sam asked. "Yes, but properly taken care of, they last forever. And it looks so much better and feels so much better than a synthetic one does." Sam looked at Toshi, and she said, "I think it will look great on you." "I'd go for it." Sam said to Karen, "You heard her." Karen smiled and took Sam over to the area of the store that was set up as a beauty salon. She had him sit in the chair, and she went to work on the wig. When she was done, it looked like the picture that she had shown them. Toshi nodded yes. And Sam, looking at himself in the mirror, liked what he saw. "It looks like you guys are happy with it," Karen said. Sam answered, "Very much." Karen added, "If you thinned your eyebrows a little and arched them, you would really look like a girl." "I've told him that," Toshi said. "But he's too timid to do it. If you take your time and change them over a period of weeks, no one will notice." "I'll think about it," Sam said. Karen put the wig on a wig stand, told them how to care for it, placed it in a tall box and then into a bag. They paid Karen for the wig and her expert styling job, and added a $10 tip. Karen said, "You guys come back anytime." "We will," Toshi said. As the twins started walking down the street, Toshi asked, "Have you had enough for today?" "Why? Do you want to quit?" "No. But I, though a guy, out doing girl shopping for the first time, might be getting tired." "No way. I was really nervous when we walked into the boutique. But Mary was so nice that I just felt at home. And Karen was also great. You girls do have fun shopping, don't you?" "Don't you mean we girls?" Sam smiled. They caught a bus that would take them close to the shoe store. Toshi watched Sam as he tried on about a dozen pair of shoes. She could only smile. Sam ended up buying 2 pairs of shoes, a pair of dark blue Mary Janes with a 2-inch heel and ankle strap, and a pair of open-toed sandals with a 2-inch heel. They found a metro rail station only a block away and caught the train home. Luckily, the train wasn't very full, and they were able to place their packages on a nearby seat. On the ride home, they talked quietly. Sam said, "Mom is going to kill us for spending so much money." "No, she won't," Toshi said. "When she gave me the credit card, she really did say, 'Have fun.'" "If you say so, I do." "Why? Why do I say so?" "No. Why are you so supportive?" "Little brother. First, I love you. Second, I understand you. And that scares me. Third, Mom has had a long talk with me about this. And I understand it. Fourth, I love to see you happy. And last but not least, I love you." Sam sat there and looked at Toshi, finally saying, "Sis, I love you. And you're the greatest." "I love you too, little sister." When they got home, they carried all the packages up to Sam's room. And Toshi sat there while Sam put everything away. And she was sure to tell him, "Remember, little sister, a girl is always very careful with her clothes. She hangs them up. She washes them when they're dirty. She takes care of them." "Yes, sis. I'll be careful. Thank you for finally taking me shopping. It was fun." "I'm glad. When are we going again? Soon. Are you going to get dressed? Can't. I promised Nessa that we'd go to a movie this evening. Priorities. You're right. We have neglected Toshi's love life so far. So, here's a little synopsis. Toshi had a number of boyfriends, probably a dozen or more, starting in the 7th grade, none of which really flipped her switch. Until the current one. She met David at a computer symposium at the American University, where he's a freshman. And they hit it off. He's been over to dinner a couple of times. They have double dated with Sam and Vanessa a few times. And so far, everyone likes him. Christmas. The first half of the year went by quickly, and Christmas was upon them. And Grandma Gifford was coming as usual. On Christmas Day, Sam went over to Vanessa's for lunch and to open presents there. Vanessa had gotten him a very nice sweater. They talked with her family for a while, and then it was off to his house for Christmas dinner. After dinner, they were sitting around opening presents, other than the one present that everyone was allowed to open in the morning. Vanessa's present from Sam wasn't in a very big box. She carefully opened it, and inside was a jewelry box. She opened it, inside was a very fine gold chain, and attached to the chain was a 3-diamond pendant. She looked at it, and then at Sam. Sam could see a tear in the corner of her eye. He reached over and gently wiped the tear away. When Miyuki and Masumi saw it, they looked at each other, and it brought back some very fond memories. It was almost identical to the one that Mike had bought Masumi a number of years age. Grandma Gifford brought up the annual trip to Japan and wondered if it was still on since the twins were starting college the next year. Masumi said, "Yes. My mother isn't doing too well, and we want to see her." Toshi was the only one to catch the expression change on Vanessa's face. Toshi knew that the thought of Sam being gone for 3 weeks was making her a little sad. David was there and said, "I didn't know you went back to Japan every year." Toshi said, "Yes. It's kind of a family tradition. And it helps keep the family ties strong. Plus, when Sam and I were young, it taught us something about the culture." Toshi again looked at Vanessa. She was holding Sam's hand and looking a little downtrodden. Toshi then looked at Sam and said, "Sam, could I see you in the kitchen for a minute?" "Sure. Excuse us for a minute." The twins got up and went into the kitchen. Sam asked, "What's up? Did you see Nessa when Grandma brought up the trip to Japan?" "No." "Why?" Her expression really changed. "And I know she was thinking about being away from you for 3 weeks. Is she getting too clingy?" "No. The way she feels about us. She just doesn't want to be apart for any length of time." "What, an hour?" "Toshi. Sorry. I know you guys are in love. And I shouldn't be that way. Actually, I could sense her feelings change when she realized that you were going to be gone. I should have, but I saw David's face change a little too." "Oh!" "Yep. He did plan on taking some summer classes to be here instead of going home for the summer. He wanted to spend time with me since I'll be at MIT next year." What? I had a thought. What? Well, Nessa's parents were going to give her a car for graduation, but she told them she didn't want one, which kind of shocked them and me. They asked her what she wanted, and she didn't really know. And I don't think she's come up with anything yet. And what if Nessa and David went to Japan with us this year? Toshi's eyes got very big, her smile was ear to ear, and her arms went around her brother's neck in a big hug. She said, "Brother, you are a genius." Just then the kitchen door opened, Masumi walked in and said, "Kids, it's not nice to be gone this long, not to mention the private talk." "Sorry, Mom," Toshi said, "but we need to talk to you now. What are you two up to?" They explained to Masumi what they had discussed. She stood there for a minute thinking and said, "Why not?" Both, Toshi and Sam, hugged their mom and said, "Thank you." But Masumi said, "I want you to talk to each of them alone, just in case one can't go. I don't want to embarrass either of them if one can go and the other can't." "Good idea, Mom," Toshi said. "All right, let's get back to everyone before they think we've abandoned them." The three walked back into the den with big smiles on their faces. And Masumi said, "Sorry." It turned out to be a little family conference. She then looked at Miyuki and winked. Miyuki gave her a look of, okay, what is going on? A little while later, Sam was walking Vanessa home, and she asked, I love the new necklace. I thought you would. Do you know what the 3 diamonds mean? No. What? I love you. She just hugged his arm tighter than she already was. Then he added, aren't you curious what the little meeting was about? Yes, but I figured that if it was important, you'd tell me. It's kind of important. I have a question for you. Okay. Your parents were planning on giving you a car for graduation. Right? Yeah. And you told them you didn't want it. Right? Yeah. And they told you to choose something else. Right? Yeah. Would you please get to the point? You're driving me crazy. Sorry. I'm getting there. I also know that you haven't told them that you want anything in particular. And I think Toshi and I have come up with something that you just might like. What? To go with us to Japan this summer. Vanessa stopped in her tracks, spun Sam around, threw her arms around his neck, and kissed him. When they broke the kiss, Sam said, looks to me like you like the idea? I love it. But we need to talk to your parents about it. I know. But I think they'll like it. Let's find out. You're home. Vanessa turned, and they were right in front of her house. She pulled Sam up the steps, into the house, and found her parents in the living room. Her mom looked at them and said, what is going on? I haven't seen Vanessa this happy since you two got back together. Mom. Well, honey, it's true. Her dad, with his droll sense of humor, just said, you're both too young. No matter what you want to do. Dad. Just listen. Vanessa chastised her dad. Sam and Vanessa explained the idea of the trip to Japan. And after going into the details, especially that Vanessa would be rooming with Toshi, the Martins thought it would be a great idea. The only time Vanessa had been out of the country was to Canada, to see her cousins, and to Bermuda for a family vacation. As Sam and Vanessa were saying goodnight, Sam said, I guess I'm going to have to teach you some Japanese. Anytime. Anata wa aishiteru. Is that my first lesson? Yes. What did you say? I love you. I like that lesson. Now you say, Watashi emo anata wa aishiteru. A little slower. Okay. Watashi emo anata wa aishiteru. Watashi emo anata wa aishiteru. Very good. What did I say? I love you too. That's a mouthful. Yep. But all we really need to say is aishiteru and watashi emo. What does that mean? You can say I love you in many different ways in Japanese. But aishiteru means love and watashi emo means I too. So if we were talking to each other, I would say aishiteru and you would say watashi emo. And loosely translated, I'm saying I love you and you're saying I love you too. I know it's a little complicated, but you're a quick learner. Aishiteru. Watashi emo. See, it's easy. She kissed him again, and they said a long goodnight. When he arrived back home, Toshi was excited. David said that he'd love to go, and that he would check and see if it was possible. Sam told everyone that the Martins had agreed that Vanessa could go along, and that she was very excited. As the rest of the school year went by, Sam and Vanessa became more than a couple, they became lovers. Vanessa learned that Sam was really a gentle and caring lover. He cared more about her pleasure than his own. And, in return, Vanessa cared more about his pleasure than her own. Sam, and Vanessa, and David, and Toshi. 4.0 point average was the class valedictorian, which made everyone proud of her. The graduation parties for the three were put off until they returned from Japan. The Sunday after graduation, Misumi, Miyuki, Sam, and Toshi left for a week with Grandma Gifford. A week later, Vanessa and David met them in Los Angeles for the flight to Japan. After the long flight, they were met by Misumi's sister Sachiko and her husband Jeremiah. When they pulled up to the house, actually the guest house, David said, "We're all staying here?" "No," Sachiko said, "just you four and my children. The rest of us are staying in the house." And she pointed down the drive at the house. David just stared. "You'll have time for Sam and Toshi to show you around," Before dinner, Sachiko added. Then Vanessa, David, and the twins unloaded their luggage from the car, removed their shoes, and carried the luggage inside. They were met by Aiko, who bowed and said, Iris Hamus. Welcome. The four, Vanessa and David, had been coached by Sam and Toshi, bowed, and said together, Domo arigato gozaimasu. Thank you very much. Aiko, in perfect English and with a smile, said, It looks like Toshi and Sam have been giving lessons. Kyoko and Taro aren't here right now, but we'll be back for supper. Toshi introduced David to Akio. And then Akio hugged Vanessa like she was a long-lost member of the family. She showed the four to their rooms and said that she had to go to the house to help with dinner, and that Toshi and Sam could show the two visitors around. As Sam and David were unpacking, David said, This place is huge and very nice. I didn't know that your grandparents were rich. Sam smiled. Sobo, sorry grandfather, was an officer at a large automobile manufacturing company. He built this and really loved it. The four met in the main room of the guest house, and the twins then gave Vanessa and David the tour of the guest house and grounds. As they were walking through the gardens, they stopped at a bench, and Toshi told a story of how this was a place that their mother and father loved, and they had spent many hours just sitting here enjoying the scenery, sunsets, and each other's company. They finished the tour and ended up back at the house just in time for dinner. There Vanessa and David met Sofu Matsushita. She was very happy to meet them and told them to call her Sofu. At dinner, Aiko, Kyoko, Taro, Vanessa, David, and the twins talked about what they were going to do for the next 2 weeks. Aiko had gotten tickets to a kabuki theater for the following night. She said that there was a special troupe there and that the star was fantastic. They had also found a number of interesting places to visit that they even hadn't been to. In addition, there was enough time for everyone to do their own thing.
Please subscribe for the next part and visit my Patreon page for early access.